snapping grip like frigid Arctic winds, hold tightly around the enemy's throat. Black samurai trotting on missions at hand. Blazing razors cut so deep in adversaries pour their life out like water from broken clay jars. Maroon, descendants of Kemet tribes, both of the valleys and higher lands. Rastafari, foot soldiers in 777,000-mile band. Thrash over Babylon's pagans, eradicate the heathens, to their surrendering knees in those queendom halls. Ancient tribal killers like whispered phrases manifesting before the unawares. Blushing red is a splatter that comes after, and off comes the heathen's head. Bullets and rockets cannot save you now. Fear is our precision. Wounds of 1,000 incisions. No doubt the last thought escaped their mouth and rides out. Unlike that cold snapping grip, shadows of red and black seize the prey of fouldom. Straight to hell's fiery gates of eternal blackness. Wherever they tumble the abyss. Hail Haile Selassie, I Rastafari. My strength, in battle we conquer and overcome.
Mankind's an ignorant race, shooting spaceships into space to study the mysteries of life. Search for God to stay safe, cause as a king approach a blackness, some of it fill up with slackness. Revolution, warmongers swarm the Vatican, overthrowing IMF invasions, royal families and masons, microchip installation, ill hunt United Nations, the host that is supreme. Triple X binary dreams, fold a shell over the scheme, with cellular brain tissue beams, magnetic strips between the seams, and satellites approaching me, but in the place uncharted henchmen, hold back the currents of the sea. I saw raging devils chasing me, so we resort to demolition, revolution, tactics C, mass confusion, jealousy. It's time we round up all the demon gods who preach lust for money. The kids of poverty, give up the stronghold on currencies that be the property. A Babylonian high priest who jeopardized the lives of shallow-minded paganry and bloodthirsty cults with gateways to heaven. A website prophecies my mind a spaceship arm, with steroid pump too lazy. It takes a million to move me like King Kong in their movies. False believers burn at the stake, for heaven's sake, devils bake. We levitate, who got 150 foot and backwards and rolled them trees. We gotta get about this whole hellhole. I wrote a Sanskrit scroll, my body's titanium alloy with a lovely skin of dark gold. Paper clips are unfold to pick locks and open up the other 95%. I'm heaven sent amongst an ignorant race, crown me king and hold your breath. I walk through the valley of shadows with a cloak of death. Light, yo, bloody wings, halos gleaming. Henchmen, Nationality. Life.
Y'all motherfuckers weak. Henchmen slay all disagreeable genes. Encrypt supreme true Gnostics in our speech. Apocalyptic speech, destroying underlings of the beast. Starting with the first beast, Nimrod, the soul of discord. The ignorant, impure, one with the true God. The most high divine architect. Mr. Whispers, Ho Chi Minh, man, bring out the howitzer text. Aiming at the crucifix, man, don't get me vexed. I put this dag in your neck and avenge Morley's death. Tap into the pineal gland and astral project. Commence to unfold, decode, Luciferian conspiracies, conspirators, disassemblers, get disassembled, decommissioned, harvest the sorrow, get an armed soldier, royal archer, equals Trish Magistus, resurrect like Sekana Ray toward the second before I hit the dust, pulsate 144 volts and turn you to dust, nothing left but husk, and your husk will make you from the living, trainers of the black nation, selling poison to your children, enslaving your children, mankind, I'm vengeance driven, I'm slaying bound mammon of prophets like Merlin, place them in my prism, IHF, microphone archer, marksman, henchman, we don't dead man, we stretch them, Barabbas knows this is a hit, Super Gods knows this is a hit, 5% God bodies knows this is a hit, Bros, jacket, C-stick, misfat knows this is a hit, Selassie established it so you can't overthrow it, love, truth, justice, Ma'at, I'm in Ra, Rastafari, morning star, the most high, pierces the night and your lies, overthrowing serpents under disguise.
Mankind, you are an ignorant race. How foolish it is to believe that your kind rules the earth. Know now that you are not alone. There are unseen worlds which exist parallel to yours. Mankind.
genetically bred for war.
World Archer,
His Magister says genetically bred for war.
Nationality,
I Ho Chi Minh Son, I'm genetically bred for war.
HS1 Patriot,
Genetically bred for war.
Lao
Kill 'em all, let God sort 'em out, settle the score.
See the world of camouflage, courage, and deception. Bent on destruction, alert, enemy detection. Mobilize henchmen, spreading microphone terrorism. Electronic sound waves, we blessed I'm wetting them. Sparing you fishes like third world fishermen. On a mission to reinstate the legacy that was perverted and stolen. Sword exposing Muslim bone organ. All y'all sound boring. Trapped in the ecosystem of murder and fornication. Spit rays illuminate the mind, now means sunlight. Vampires ignite, day or night, streams burn to this. Soldiers secure the throne to this. Raise fist, line paw, rise with the morning star, line raw. Kippura, Rastafari, Bonabati guy, all informer types. Selassie, I master my inner lights. Reaching higher heights, where devils get sliced and diced. Kinda like mincemeat, when the blade about was unsheathed. Population fall victim of blade onslaught. Verbal war campaigns, when I ink the page. Searing pain unfolding the brain, combatants left main. Souls get claimed, covered the throne like a king. Bells ring, don't stick to the wind. Formulate my curve with divine trig. Countermeasure hit you so fast you swells a make. Pump round after rounding you like a sig. Cock your wig, use it as a headdress and place it on my flip wig. Walk down your block just to prove my point. I'm supreme what? Switch your name to skid butts. You fairy bone, you debone, you got no bone, you just bristle. Defcon 1, launch the missile.
War. Yeah. Genetically bred for war. We genetically bred for war. Cause we genetically bred for war. We genetically bred for war. Son, we genetically bred for war. Genetically bred for war. Son, I'm genetically bred for war. Genetically bred for war. He's genetically bred for war. I leave the crime scene with my war face painted in green. Cops got no time to stop me or intervene. That's why I'm the devil killing machine. Sometimes I fiend to dismember the head of the enemy that lurks in the same head as the dragon and the eagle working as a fed. Instead of wanting me alive, they just want me dead. Or that's what I read. If they chase me, I chase them. Like a never-ending war, there's more to replace them. The only way to win is by destroying the main station. Manufacturing samples waiting for placement. Fire upon your agents, this world's ran by Masons. Living subterranean lives cause they face it. Prophesize rebel warmonger action taken. Watch that movie Soldier cause that's just what they making. It's all about pride, but you can't run a hide unless you choose suicide. Try to tap into my mind, access denied, leave your brains fried. Like 6,000 watts pump through my fortune to keep you out, but at least you tried. If you want to collide with Charlie Whispers, they're warning you in for a ride. That's like a doomsday asteroid touching down on the planet Earth. Watch with killjoy, riding off the crash course. Now it's time to destroy Babylon, toppling the empires to make way for the nights to break day. I'm a night stalking IHF member. Believe that Mossad agents ease back. No remorse can stop me. Shot on sight, don't give me feedback. Yeah, genetically bred for war. We genetically bred for war. Cause we genetically bred for war. We genetically bred for war. Son, we genetically bred for war. Genetically bred for war. Son, I'm genetically bred for war. Genetically bred for war.
Genetically bred for war. Pass at your door. Glad impalling seeds of rotten evil weeds. Rwanda massacring MCs. Rivers overflow with bodies. Bitch raw gas compositions. Erratic lava leaving third-degree burns and blisters. Microphone condensing vapor. Nuclear rolling thunder. ICBMs erase ya. Ghost dance can't cage you. Move like a zombie in a trance. Hands. Zulu art of war. Fuck dudes. Anarchy becomes law and rule. Hell's breaking loose. Commandos start the coup. Initiate Operation Overthrow. RLA in camp on your banks. Twilight can we attack your flank. Leaving my mortar round. CCP, JP. Kiss off the shells. Decimate compounds. 4540 cars. Renegade AWOL mercenary cowboys. Joint chiefs and staff generals. Running up stranglers. On search and destroy missions. Daytime, wartime, executioners. Peacemakers. Hip-hop dictators. Judgment enforcers. Face disfigurers. Pain distributors. Verbal butcherers. Knowledge is a weapon. So henchmen, let's cripple their minds. They're the war now playing. And we ain't playing no other way to slave or cold and frigid. Behold black and white magic on turf. Lord Caesar sentries into the ambush. Rotate on burst while we spit foul words. Enacting our generational curse. Set out net up words. Like God sending lightning bolts. Like an uprising revolt. Like a Hollywood thug making streets light up with fireworks. Come out unscathed, unhurt. Come out of hell undefiled and uncooked. I'm in the form of double-edged swords. Arrows. High-powered gas and spears. No life is spared. No life is spared.
No life is spared. No life is spared. No life is spared. These are the fakers. These are the fakers. These are the since we just beat up on the other pedophile, you see, might as well get at the Cointel pedos and get that out the way. And people talking crazy. So let's just get this out the way. So everybody's biting off of this. Anybody who's telling you nationality card right now, this is what they're biting from. I don't care what their name is. If they say they have a card for you, they're biting this right here. They're biting this. Important message regarding national identification card. One may be employed, do business, and enter into other contracts and sue and be sued under any names they choose at will. London versus First National Bank. Coppage versus Kansas. The judicial or court method of changing one's name is merely an affirmance and aid of the common law. Thus, the common law by superiority establishes supreme validation and suffices to serve public notice for declaration of name correction and change. The court method of corroborating a name correction and change is not to be assumed as being necessary nor superior, but merely a formalized method of confirming or acknowledging a person's right to a name correction or change. If you are not able to be who you say you are and exercise your unalienable rights of birth and defend your allodial identification yourself, do not apply for this card. At the same time, be willing to accept the following fact. Your nationality card is going to change in your pocket. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It is advised that you read, review, and study this entire page regarding identification cards, name corrections, and or change prior to applying them. Prior to. So, we know without a shadow of a doubt that Louis Manrique Bey didn't read before he applied for this. We know he didn't read before he applied for this. I'm going to use him as an example since they want to post stuff. Everybody wants to post that there are more yesterday when you're supposed to be a more 10,000 years ago. Talk about yesterday. You're a more now. Now I'm a more. I have this card I got from these Cointel pedophiles in China who can't even come in the country, which is why they left. We're just trying to figure out why. Why did he leave? Why did you leave? You go over there. So all these biters that are popping up, they're in it for the finance. So because they're in it for the finance, right, just for the simple fact that they're in it for the finance, right? They don't care what happens. They're just about the finance. That's all they're about. That's all they're about. They're not about you learning. They're not about nationalizing people. They're not about giving people back their nationality and their birthrights. They're not about any of that. They're not about any of that at all. They're all about raping ignorant people. So the reason we know that he didn't read Jack and he just went and got a card because somebody said you can get this is there's no national headwear in the picture. Any Moors that you see that have a nationality card that doesn't have a headwear, that means they weren't ready to have what they got. Because they didn't even think wrap a towel on their head and make a turban because their fez didn't come yet. They didn't even think that far. They just did it like a regular Negro. The Negro with a nationality card. A Puerto Rican with a nationality card. A corpse with a nationality card. Because if this is your identity and they're using this to say who you are, why do you look like a Negro on a nationality card for Moors? And who took your finance and didn't tell you, hey, why are you sending this picture without your national headwear on? And we're not saying a fez makes you. You can have a nationality card without a fez on it. That's your ID. You do what you want. We're talking about our lessons. We were brought up in this. How we were brought up in this is nationality has things that go with it. One of the things that go with it is a national headwear. And for Moors, that's either a turban or a fez. Turban or a fez, your national headwear, you're good to go. So when you see nationality cards being thrown around online because people trying to prove something, and nationality cards have pictures on it which are supposed to be of Moors, but they look like Negroes, that's probably somebody who they were maybe trying to get out of something, so they figure they're going to get this, or they wanted to go in the thong on some beach somewhere and they couldn't get a passport, so I was going to get this thing from this Moor since he says it works. And then they're going to go and be in their thong, and they did it. They went to go on the beach in their thong. So they're not Moors then. They're not Moors. They're just Negro black colored people pretending to be Moors. Because if the individual isn't about being part of building the nation, then why are you even giving them identification? Because you know off the top if they're really down with it, or if are all their T's crossed and I's dotted. We know that they don't know what's going on, because right down here at the bottom there has the Great Seal there. Now why would this have the Great Seal on there if Moorish American travel document has their own seal? Why are they using somebody else's seal? Why don't they just use their own seal? Like, why don't they just use their own seal? Why is everything in lowercase? You have to know. If you don't know, then you're gonna get messed up, and once you get messed up, you can't move from there. Once you get messed up, you can't move from there. Once you get messed up, you can't move from there. Right? By authenticating the colonial birth certificate, you close the door to them so they don't play with you anymore. And remember that they are mercenaries. Look at what happened to Rise of the Moors in Massachusetts for leaving that door open. They were returned to the colonial jurisdiction, and now when a judge sees that authentic act, he goes back because you have a private status. Never ignore the machinations of the enemy island. Now, the people who are telling you authenticate the birth certificate, if the authentication is happening from the colonial people who created the birth certificate, you just admitted that you're a sellout. So of course they're going to ride with you. You work for them. You're sovereign. You have your own seal if you're claiming that you're a nation. But you're not going to seal your own stuff. You're going to go to the colonial court. You're going to go to some colonial office and use their letterhead on your Moorish paperwork. Use their letterhead on their birth certificate that they created. And you're telling me you're not working for them? Obviously you're working for them if you're authenticating birth certificates. Period. Obviously, if you got caught with a 14-year-old, you're a pedophile. Obviously. Well, yesterday I was doing a lecture for 50,000 people about the Moors. And pedophile? What's your point, pedo? No one has to authenticate a birth certificate. And anybody who's pushing that you have to authenticate a birth certificate, watch them. Because they probably already got in your pockets. If you already authenticated the birth certificate, I'm pretty sure these people already got in your pockets. And there's more of them going in your pockets coming up. But you don't want to hear what we're saying, though. You know, which is cool. You know, every man to himself. Do your thing. Do your thing. We're just bringing it to your attention. All we're doing is just bringing it to your attention that something's wrong here. You're not supposed to have a nationality card without your national headdress. You're not supposed to have a nationality card without a turban on or a fez on. You're not supposed to have your free national name written in all capital letters. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to write a sentence in lowercase. Who does that? Only children do that. Only children do that. You're telling me that you're a bae? You're a bay, you're writing your stuff in lowercase? So you're a bay and you're writing in lowercase. Are you for real right now? So capital letters don't mean anything. We just discard capital letters. They don't exist anymore because we found out that the real way to write is lowercase. So we're not going to use capital letters anymore. Okay, so what about all those books on the shelf that you got? Why don't you burn those? Why don't you burn every single piece of paper that you have and rewrite everything in lowercase then? This is how dumb they have you. Listen to these people. Authenticate birth certificates, write stuff in lowercase, have a nationality card with no national headwear. What kind of idiot are you? You find anybody else with a national name, and you tell me if their picture doesn't have them in their national headwear. You find a Sikh. You find a Sikh and say, let me see your ID. Whether he has license, whether he has nationality card from Punjab. Regardless, bet you he's going to be in his national headwear. So if he has enough common sense to have a national headwear on, why are you a dummy? And then you're posing with it as if you did something. You made yourself look like a damn fool. And if you're a fool, then you're a ward. And if you're a ward, of course you could show this and get away with it. Why not? You're not violating nothing. You're not doing nothing against anything. You're going with the program. You're going with the program of color. You're going with the program of fraud that these people are doing. So why wouldn't they let you pass? Why wouldn't they give you passage if you're a fraud too? And you're a fraud that's funding them. Because I guarantee you're going to notaries and getting stuff notarized. And I guarantee that you're filling in some type of papers to claim birth certificates that you didn't create the paper, somebody else did. And then you're the only one signing it. Like an idiot. And Moorish try to put you on game and we're condescending and we're rude. Alright, well then we're rude then. FOH. So FOH with all this Matt D, Moorish American travel document and whatever. FOH with all of that. It's BS. All they did was copy from Great Seal. That's all they did. They copied from Great Seal and now they're pushing like they're the ones who are giving you something. Playing you. They're gonna tell you about claim birth certificates, but they're not gonna tell you about X-relation. How come they're not telling you about X-relation? Why are they telling you about secured party creditor, but they're not telling you about X-relation? Why aren't they mentioning X-relation? Why? Shouldn't they be? I mean, I think they should be. I really think they should be. There's no way that they can't know. They have to know. They have to know about X-relation. There's no way they can't know about X-relation. There's no way they know about authenticate birth certificate, secured party creditor, trust account, and they don't know about X-relation. Now, in case they never told you, XREL, oh yeah, and let's put this out there, originally posted May 31st, 2013. What year are we in right now? We talk about authenticate birth certificates and you never checked this stuff from 2013? People need slaps. About XREL and Nam de Gear. Getting rid of the quote-unquote old name. X-relation or XREL. XREL is the lawful position one takes with a fictitious name or a nom de guerre. A nom de guerre is a fictitious name, a war name, a name assumed for a time. XREL is used in regards to a birth certificate name. A birth certificate is an instrument that indicates a title exists somewhere, as all certificates indicate. However, that title is not the XREL. That title is not the LRB. The birth certificate is the instrument that proves human trafficking. Therefore, there is nothing to redeem. The proper use of quote-unquote not throwing it away is to XREL it, which means you have information about it. The birth certificate name, but it is not you and never was. It has nothing to do with the flesh and blood being. Therefore, the use of XREL is the lawful position that Noble Drew Ali meant for you in regards to not getting rid of it. And to do all new business in your new name. Of course, upon study, he trusted you would find that out, as the half had not been told. Don't believe us. Try it, instead of trying to redeem it and running from it. Redeem it means authenticate the birth certificate, like these people who are pushing Moorish American travel document and all that are telling you to do. They're telling you go the way of claim birth certificates, when that has nothing to do with you. So if it has nothing to do with you, why are you claiming it? If the birth certificate is the instrument that proves human trafficking, then why are you trying to claim that? So you're claiming the thing that's proving human trafficking. So wouldn't that mean that you're not a human trafficker? And you just let them off the hook? Because you're the one that authenticated the human trafficking. There's seals on it, but you're the one who went to the office, which has nothing to do with you. They're supposed to be Illuminati and the enemy and all that. Why are you going to them to file papers? If they're the devil and all that stuff, then why are you filing UCC papers with them if they're the devil? And then trying to tell Moors who aren't doing that well, they don't know what they're talking about. They're the enemy. You're going to go file papers with the enemy? That's freedom? That's freedom. But this is what happens because people don't study. People want to run out there and just go to any Tom, Dick, and Harry and buy a nationality card. And then they're not even getting the nationality card to do anything Moorish. They're getting the nationality card to go do nigger stuff. And then want the Moorish stuff to protect them when they get caught up doing their niggerness. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, honey. Playing yourself. Anybody got any protests? Put it in the chat. Or push the thing. FMATD. It's BS. It's a passport. It's a passport. It's no different than what U.S. and Canada got. It's a passport. Of course they're going to let you cross the border with it. Why wouldn't they? It's a fraud. Fraud knows fraud better than anything else. That's why we told you the date, 2013. This been up here. Letting you know the birth certificate proves human trafficking. Why are you going to claim that for? And where are you in your mind that you listen to this Moor telling you do this? You just claimed a human trafficking instrument, making you the human trafficker now. As if you're not gonna get karmic debt from holding on to their stuff that supposed to be going to them. How are you taking somebody's karmic debt for them? Woman getting abused, you're talking about, no, you just stay in the house, just hit me instead. Hit me instead so she can stay. What are you talking about? XREL is in relationship to having information only regarding the nom de guerre or straw, as many have called it, or regarding any fiction, as fictions cannot speak for themselves. That is why an attorney is always forced upon you, as attorneys are for the purpose of speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves, i.e. corporations. What many call the straw man, the straw name, and others call a transmitting utility is really, lawfully, a nom de guerre. A nom de guerre is a fictitious name, a worn name, a name assumed for the time. Don't forget, put your questions in all caps so it doesn't get lost. So you're saying as Moors, we should not create a trust and place the birth certificate inside the trust. Am I understanding you correctly? You are not understanding me correctly. I am saying birth certificate has absolutely nothing to do with you. Why are you even messing with it? Not even bring up trust. Why does the birth certificate have anything to do with you? It's a human trafficking instrument. Are you a human trafficker? Okay, so if you're not a human trafficker, why are you claiming a human trafficking instrument? And if you do claim the human trafficking instrument, and then you go do something out there, and they give you 50 grand, and they give you 5 million, and they let you get off cases, and they let you ride around with your bra out the sunroof or whatever, you think that means that you got the right? You're not doing that because of the right. You're doing that because you're working with them. So of course they're gonna let you do what you want. Because you're a fraud. Just like them. Why would they railroad you? You're pushing their agenda. You're pushing their narrative. Because the narrative is supposed to be X-relation, not claim the birth certificate. The narrative is supposed to be, I'm a Moor and I have a trust. And in my trust is everything that is going to be transferred to my heirs. That's why you have a trust. You don't have a trust for yourself. If you think you have a trust to save your stuff, that's not what the trust is for. That's not the concept of a trust. The concept of a trust is so that beneficiaries have something. That's why you're putting it in the trust. You're not putting it in the trust to protect it from the European from getting it. That's just automatically what happens when you put the stuff in the trust. Nobody could get to it. But the whole point of the trust is so that it's passed down to somebody else. The purpose of a trust is that there's a beneficiary. So if you think, I'm going to put the house in the trust, and then you put the house in the trust, and then you're not talking about any beneficiaries. Why do you have a trust? If you're not talking about passing something down of value to a descendant, then What is the purpose of a trust? Peace, Afan Bay. Just hit me in the DM. Or you could push the button if your stuff isn't personal or whatever. You could push the thing. You build right here. What happened to free travel? What happened to free travel? Why do we need a passport? No, there was never free travel. You had to show something. But they clamped it down to the point where now all you can show is a passport. The other time you could show license and go wherever, all across the world, people use license. But that was the you losing your rights. You thought they were doing something for you or whatever. No, they weren't. They were clamping you down. And then now they're talking about vaccine passport and you can't go anywhere. Clamp you down some more. But you don't hear what Moors are saying. Everybody, when Moors are telling them right to travel, when stuff was easy, they said Moors were crazy and they wanted to debate Moors. Now you need a vaccine passport. And now you're complaining. Don't complain. You should have been listening to the Moors when we've been telling you proclaim your nationality because we got certain rights. But nah, you didn't want to do that. You want to debate Moors. So now you need a vaccine passport. Don't cry. Deal with it. You should know how to live within contracts anyways if you've been studying and all that stuff. And if you haven't been studying, then obviously this ain't for you. You might as well go back to being a nigger and to call that your lot in life. And stay out Moore's DM with your COVID BS. Don't care about no damn COVID. If I never got a flu, why am I worried about COVID? I've been sick in 5 years or something. Why am I concerned about some stuff out there? Please. All right. Did Noble Drew Ali set up a trust instrument for Moors? Would Noble Drew Ali... Okay. Yes, Noble Drew Ali set up a trust instrument for Moors. Why? Because Moors are the beneficiaries. What did he pass down to them? Their vast estate mandate, which is in the Holy Quran. Egypt, capital dominion of the Moorish Empire. Letting you know what your estate is. And he gave you the nationality to back it up. And he gave you all the temples. And he gave you all the governors and government officials and everything else that you need. Gave you constitution. Gave you everything that you needed. And what these people do? Told you that there's some religious thing and now you have nothing and you're complaining. Don't complain. Deal with it. Don't complain. Sorry. I ain't hearing your complaints. Your campaigns. You go rub some ointment on your campaigns. I ain't hearing it. Because been supposed to have this stuff in order. But people want to play games. And then when people pop out as pedophiles, you're not burning the jail down to get your hands on these people. You just let them deal with it. Alright. Alright. If that's where you are with it, hey, do your thing. All you people who put finance in Buddy's pocket, pedophile guy's pocket. All you people that supported it, donated to the Cash App and all that stuff. All of you people should be sticking your finger down your throat and pushing the puke button on yourself. Make yourself hurl, because you're disgusting. Make yourself hurl. You push the puke button. You stick the toothbrush down there and hurl. That's what you get. Riding with pedophiles. And then you showing stuff to us. Oh my gosh, look what happened. Please get the F out my face. Beat it. Michael Craxon. Just a information junkie. Drama junkie. That's all you want. No knowledge. Just want drama. And then we give you the drama. Oh, the Moors are mean. The Moors are rude. Why are the Moors talking to me like that? I thought you wanted smoke and all that stuff. What happened? What happened? Thought you had the purple and all that stuff. Now you're getting smoke. You don't want any? Now we're calling all you people out again. Because now we know you're riding with pedophilias now. We know you're right. We got the picture. Oh, you didn't see the pictures? Oh, look at the pictures. You didn't see the pictures of all the people riding with the pedophiles? Right? KTL Radio presents Brother Polite riding with the pedo. Are they gonna come out denounce the pedo? Or are they gonna just go with it? Right? NOI riding with the pedo. NBA riding with the pedo. Champion boxer guy. Money team guy riding with the pedo. Mr. Corona himself riding with the pedo. Chef Aki riding with the pedo. These are you guys people. Russell with the pedo. Kobe with the pedo. Busta with the pedo. Huh? You guys aren't ashamed of yourself? You're not ashamed of yourself, are you? All right, we got more. Don't worry. We got more.
Because if you're pushing falsehoods, Brother Polite, if you're pushing lies, Brother Polite, if you are misleading the people, Brother Polite, there's no honor in that. Nowhere close. Hope you've learned your lesson. And hope for you watching, you do more research. You study what Noble Drew Ali was saying. And then you put that up against Brother Polite. Or any of these black leaders. Because it's not really about Brother Polite. I'm just using him as an example of how conniving and how manipulative and how much of a scheming hustle a lot of these people are doing with our freedom and with our lives and with this movement and with the information. Manipulating you based on your ignorance because you do not know and you believe what people tell you. Don't believe what people tell you. Don't believe me. Go look it up for yourself. See for yourself what is true and what is false. Look up the word blackamoor in the dictionary. Black amour. Look it up. Look up the word more. And don't just look it up in one dictionary or go on to Google. Look it up in multiple dictionaries, unabridged dictionaries, Oxford, Random House, Webster's. Look it up in all of them and see what it says. Then look up the word black and you'll see that it is an adjective and that it connects to pale. That's the etymology of the word black. Connects to pale. Clearly, I'm not pale, nor am I black, as you can see here. See? Can you see? We not black. We not African Americans either. We not Kunta Kinte. Somebody else said that. Do you know who that was that said that? I know.
Islam. I'm a Moor and got sense enough to know I'm a Moor. And ain't gonna never argue with you that I'm not a Moor. And wouldn't come in your house or come among you and say I'm a Moor if I didn't feel in my heart, in my mind, in my soul that I am, I would tell you, God damn it, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Ain't no more. So if I say it, I mean it. And if I mean it, generally, I say it. Are you a Muslim? Yes. But I know my roots. And I ain't Kunta Kinte.
Almost forgot. One last thing. We have a special presentation that's coming to us from Canaanland and the Canaanland Moors. Much love and respect to the brothers that's doing their thing and active out there. Cujo and all of the peoples. Much love to you. We have a brother that's a hip-hop legend that put on the record his dealings and interactions, business dealings, with this brother Pedolight individual. So without further ado, I'll let them speak on it. Much love if you watched it this far. And I hope sincerely and humbly that you do study and you do find out the truth. That we are not blacks, we are not Negroes, we're not coloreds, we're not Hispanics or Latinos, that we are Moors, specifically Moorish Americans. Much love.
No, 3. So I'm gonna take my chill pill for a bit and let the Moor, we're talking about hip hop right now, huh? We'll let the Moor tell you what's up. Islam, fam.
Islam.
I'm gonna just put the mic on and you just do what it is.
Yeah. Alright. You ready?
Yeah, you're live, Moor.
Yeah, I just want to say, I ain't gotta make it no long announcement and all that. I just want to tell people, man, stay away from that cat, man, for life, because the cat is a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Cat had a property auction. You know what I mean? And I bought a so-called piece of land from the cat. Gave my $4,300, and he just get down. I've been trying to get at him. He texted me like one time, said he could meet him, and he never was there. And basically, he gave me the runaround. And I know mad people do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? The whole time I'm thinking this dude was right as that, but I should have known. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't talking about nationality. But that was my, you know what I'm saying? That was my bad. But I just want to warn the people, man. You know, stay away from that cat. Laughing all the way across the board. You know what I mean? And saying one is good. I peep my man right now, Cujo, you know what I'm saying? On YouTube, when I was like, yo, I was hearing what he was saying, then I was hearing him spit. And he was spitting all the Moorish, you know what I'm saying? The Moorish science. I'm like, wow, I never heard nobody put it down like that, so I had to get in touch with him. Like, y'all I know he official kitchen. So I reached out to the Moor, you know what I'm saying? We've been in contact ever since. I mean, you know, I just want to thank him up for that too. And basically, like I said, man, I'm not here to make the wrong speech, but stay away from that cat or any one of them conscious cats that ain't talking about nationality, because there's no such thing as Declaration of Rights of Black People or Declaration of Rights of African American or Negro. None of that shit. But you damn sure can go look up Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. If they ain't teach you about that, off the top, they're bogus. So that's my job, man. Oh, yeah. It's your granddaddy IU, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Granddaddy IU. And stay in Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Cold chilling, OX. You know what I'm saying? All that. But, yeah, I've been down since like 99. And I came through the Temple 23 in Queens on Rockaway Boulevard. And that closed down. And I got down with USAP, Romney Bay. You know what I'm saying? The Great Seal. So, got my ID in 2000. I've been rocking ever since. Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, a lot of people don't, choose to say it, and I wasn't saying it, but I'm just now starting to implement that in my lyrics now. So anything you hear me coming out from there for, you know what I'm saying, I'm always have to with that. But yeah, a lot of people, man, a lot of people is up on it. A lot of people is still skeptical because they haven't seen it the fake can't last forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can't last forever, so.
Very important that we look at the common grounds, the differences. And if you were to have Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, Abraham, peace be upon them, all in the same room, they wouldn't be arguing with each other, debating each other, because they were all on the same team. They had the same message. They had the same Lord. But many times it's the people, it's us that get this message confused.
The people get the message confused. You confused still? You better not be confused still. If you're confused, better not be confused. Better not be confused. Because we've been told y'all about these folks years ago. So FOH, your drama queen asses. FOH. Don't be telling me about any polite and all that stuff. We've been told you people. I told you so. The perfect I told you so moment. I told you so. You want to hear what we're saying? We're just disgruntled Moors because the debate didn't go well. The debate against the Moors was whatever, even though I told you. And the Moors said that they looked it up and the charges are there. The charges are there. It's there. All these years you're following somebody named Brother Pedolight. He doesn't have a national name? Chasing after him? All these fakers out here? No national name? They just call themselves whatever and you're riding with it. Because those little Nas X try to jack Nas whole stuff. When you're a, you don't know what the hell to call you. You're just a freaking Yura, calling yourself Nas. Damn traitors. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Watch out for the pedophiles. And watch out for that light, cockroaches. The light is shining in all you cockroaches' corner. So you better have some good stuff to show when the light shines on you. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the mothers. And honors to all Moors worldwide. We're on the right path, Moors. Islam.